Hey guys, I was asked recently about some nutritional information, and I don't talk about it very often in my videos. I usually focus on the workout stuff, but today I wanted to cover the nutritional side of things. Okay, so first of all, let's start up by saying that I don't believe in any kind of restrictive diet. Okay, something where you're taking um, macronutrients like carbohydrates or whatever, and you're cutting them out or drastically reducing them. Okay, because anything like that is not sustainable for long term. Okay, I know some people. I spoke to a guy who went on this carnivore diet and he lost a bunch of weight and he was just eating meat. Okay, and yeah, it all was good. Okay, you may look good on the outside, you may be losing weight and all that stuff. Okay, but in the inside, I mean, what's happening to your liver and kidneys from eating all that extra fat and sodium? Okay, I mean, it's going to be a problem. Okay, so you have to think about that kind of thing. And by the same token, okay, you have people who are protein deficient as well. And so you got to be careful with that too. All right. So just try to have good balance. All right. And one of the things which I try to explain to people is to have certain rules to follow, and just you know when you follow these rules, it's easier to do that than to have a structured meal plan, like something overly structured meal plan. You need structure, but not overly structured. Like, I mean, any monkey can go and write out a meal plan for you, and it's going to be like at 8:30 eat this, and 11:30 eat this, and 1 o'clock eat this, and you're going to do all that stuff. Okay, it's just I mean, it'll work for a while, but until you understand why you're doing something and how to structure things properly in a realistic way and how to do things on the fly, that kind of stuff, it's not really going to work well because you won't understand the why. Understanding what you're doing is one thing, but why are you doing it? That's why when I explain things to people, I always tell them why. If there's an exercise, I'm going to tell them why. Okay, what muscle they're training, whatever they're doing. Okay, if we're doing a martial arts training method, I'll explain why. I'll tell you why we're doing it. Okay, I always want people to know. I don't want mystery. I don't believe in this crap when people say, "Shut up and do what I say." I'm not going to explain it myself. No, I'm going to explain myself. Okay, if you can't, and this is one other thing too. But if you're ever with a coach or a trainer or anyone who can't explain something, well, maybe the person doesn't know anything. Okay, I mean, maybe they're just hiding behind this. You know, this respect bullshit because they don't know what they're talking about, okay? So keep that in mind. All right, so what are the rules? There's 6 major rules I like to follow, okay? I'd like to explain to people. First rule, and these aren't in any particular order of importance, these are just the rules to try and follow. Try and implement them like one at a time, maybe, okay? You don't try and do it all at once, okay? First rule is 30 and 30. You want to try to eat a decent sized protein rich meal within 30 minutes of waking up. Okay? So, I mean, I don't want to hear this crap about how I don't want to eat in the morning, or I just want to have a muffin, or I just want to have my coffee. No, I don't want to hear that shit, okay? You need to have a decent breakfast when you wake up. All right, you need to have that. It's important. Okay, even if some of your other meals are kind of lacking a bit, I mean that's not great, but you gotta have a good breakfast. Okay, at least one good meal a day anyway. Obviously, you want more than that, but I mean, we're taking baby steps here. Okay, so you don't have to actually measure out the food. All right, but just you want to have a decent amount of protein. Okay, you take 3 eggs, whatever, that kind of thing. Side note: egg whites are bullshit. Never mind that. Okay, eat the whole thing. All right, all the nutrition, all the vitamins, minerals are all in the yolk. Okay, it's always amazed me how somebody will eat egg whites and then go and eat a big fat ribeye. Okay, so egg whites, bullshit. Get out of your head. Okay, whole eggs. That's the way. All right. Number 2, water. Try to drink at least 8 cups of water a day. All right. Now I spoke about it before, but I had one client who actually lost a whole ton of weight from drinking a gallon of water and walking about 30 to 45 minutes a day. All right. Rain or shine. Right. And that was a big deal. Okay. A gallon of water. So it goes a long way. Okay, that's rule number 2. Rule number 3 is use a multivitamin and or a protein supplement, protein powder. Okay, um, could use both, could be one. Okay, um, but protein, there's a lot of confusion about that. Some people think it's protein powders are BS, whatever. All it is a way for you to increase your protein intake in an easy way, because it's easier to drink your protein, easier to drink your protein than it is to eat it. That's all it is. It's not magic. It's just extra protein. Now, if you can get everything you need from food, then you don't need the protein powder. A lot of people can't, and that's what it's there for. Okay. And another note here is don't listen to people who tell you need hundreds of grams a day. Okay, you need protein, sure. Okay, but the amounts that they tell you is ridiculous. I mean, they tell you that because they want you to keep buying their supplements. Okay, so just keep that in mind. All right, you need protein. I mean, I say about a kilogram, 1 gram of protein per kilogram of body weight, or a bit more if you're training harder than that. But for most people, that's a good amount. Okay. You don't need hundreds of grams, okay? Never mind that, all right? Number 4 is try to replace your grains with greens for one of your meal, okay? So preferably your evening meal, rather than having the pastas or rice or potatoes or whatever, try and just have vegetables, for that meal, along with some kind of protein, okay? You can have your starchy stuff earlier in the day, but try in the evening to do it that way. If it works better for you to do that for lunch instead of dinner, I mean, that's okay too. But doing that for dinner seems to bring the best results. Okay? All right. Rule number 5 is use your hand to measure your portion sizes. All right? And this is a big source of confusion. Some people weigh all their food, things like that. I find that a little bit obsessive, but some people do it, and they can do it for years, okay? But what happens if you're out somewhere? You're going to bring your food scale with you everywhere you go, okay? So that's why it's better to have a way to measure in a simple way. Just use your hand, all right? These are all rough amounts, but roughly your protein source is about the size of your hand. So what is that? That's like a few eggs. It's like a little steak, a piece of fish, a piece of chicken, right? It's all in there, okay? Your cupped hand would be like your rice, your potatoes, your pastas, your starchy carbs, okay? And your closed fist would be your veggies, okay? And just use that as an approximate guide to measure your portions, okay? Obviously, if you're in very hard training, heavy training, or if you're trying to gain weight, gain muscle, yes, there are people who are skinny who want to gain weight too. Then you would eat more than that, okay? But I mean, this is just a rough guide, okay? My old coach used to say to me, you have to know what like home plate is, and then you can go a little bit from that, but never too far from that, okay? Go around the field, but you always know where home plate is, right? So that's home plate. Boom, boom. That's home plate, okay? And rule number 6 is give yourself a cheat meal once a week. Okay. I've known many people who went on an ultra strict meal plan, never having any cheat meals, and then they're in denial. They say, I don't even have a taste for it anymore. I don't even want the ice cream anymore. I don't want it anymore. I feel great this way. Well, that's great. Let's say that. On the outside, and everyone believes it, but inside they're craving that ice cream. Okay, you know damn well they are. Okay, and one day they're gonna snap and have it. And when that happens, okay, they're gonna go crazy. They're gonna have ice cream every day for a week, and they're gonna order a bucket of fried chicken, and they're gonna order a large pizza, eat the whole thing. Okay, that's what's gonna happen, and it's not gonna stop for months. Okay. And then where are all your results going to go? Okay, right down the toilet, okay? So if you want to keep things going, all right, sustainability is the name of the game here, okay? All these things can be sustained for years and decades, all right? When I mentioned earlier that I don't like those restrictive diets because they're not sustainable, this is, all right? But you got to keep your sanity too, and you got to have, things that you love and do it. So give yourself a cheat meal, okay? Now, some of you may know that my big cheat, which I love, which I have to control, of course, is cheeseburgers. Various kinds of cheeseburgers. I've have it with bacon and I put eggs on top of it and all kinds of stuff. I mean, I know it isn't the best thing to have, but what can I tell you? Okay, that's the thing I love. Okay, I love cheeseburgers. Okay, but I know I can't eat that every day. Okay, but once in a while I give myself that treat. I'll go to Five Guys or whatever, and or I'll go to the Works downtown Olfa and I'll have one of a great big cheeseburger for me, and I'll dig in. Okay, but I know I don't do it too often. All right, but it keeps me sane, so that the rest of the time I can stay on track, and I'll give myself a cheat once in a while. Okay, and that's it. All right, so there's your 6 rules. Okay, once again, I'm going to review them all. Okay, 30 and 30. Okay, 30 grams of protein within 30 minutes of waking up. Okay, drink your water. All right, multivitamin and or protein powder. Okay, replace grains with greens for 1 meal a day. Okay, use your hand to measure your portion sizes, and last thing is give yourself a cheat meal. Okay, once a week. All right. And that's it, okay? Nutrition does not have to be complicated. You complicate things, you kill it, okay? Don't have overly structured meal plans. Try and keep things, as simple as possible. Have these rules, follow these rules, use them to guide you, all right? And leave it at that, okay? So anyways, I hope it helped to clear things up a bit. If you have any questions, send me a message, let me know, and I'll talk to you guys soon.